Morning guys, James here, and we find ourselves once again on the banks of the Rio Grande River. Now for the purpose of this video, I want to demonstrate how to go ahead and capture crawdads or crayfish, which is this right here. And it's a crustacean. It's related to shrimp and lobster, and just like shrimp and lobster, they make a great source of food, a great source of protein. So the best way to capture them is with the trap for sheer numbers, because we mainly eat the tail, so it's not a lot of meat individually. So you mainly use a trap. I do not have a trap, so what I'm using is just my fishing rod with some liver. I like liver because it's very gummy and it permeates a very strong scent. So I just go ahead and dip it in a very shallow bank or a pond, and these guys just come right out. Okay, so I'm gonna just go ahead and capture about 6 or 7 of them, and then from there I'll go ahead and demonstrate how to go ahead and cook them. Just cook them on the fly. Just a quick primitive fire. And look, this is a nice one. He's a good size. Look at that tail. That tail's gonna have a good amount of meat. So as I said earlier, the best way to get a very large amount of crayfish is to use a trap. Like I said, I don't have a trap, so I'm just improvising with my fishing rod. And so I put liver. Once again, it just permeates a strong scent that they follow, and then it's very gummy, so they don't just rip it and take off. So, and I just put it in a nice shady spot right here. Wow, those 3 of them there. Okay, so I caught about 6 or 7 crayfish, and it's already getting later on in the morning, so the sun's rising, it's getting hotter. So we just moved to a shadier spot, and we got a fire going now. So I'm just trying to get a good bed of embers going. And if you notice, I already have my cup, my canteen with some water. So I'm waiting for it to boil, because I'm gonna boil these guys. That's how traditionally they're cooked, just like lobsters. And right now I'm gonna go ahead and rinse them out. I'm gonna get rid of the water. I left a little bit of water for them to breathe. So I'm gonna empty it out and then rinse them so I can just clean them out with my canteen water. And then once they're a little bit cleaner, then I'm going to dump them in there once the water's boiling. And after that, it only takes about 5 to 6 minutes. And once they're deep red, then they're ready to eat. Okay, so the water's already boiling, so that these guys are ready to start cooking. So I'm going to empty out the water. Okay. And I only have about 5, not much, but you know, this is more demonstration than actual survival. Okay, so there's 2 of them. And I'm just gonna rinse them really quick because, you know, they're in the river. It's not like it's soap and water, but it's something, you know? So give them a quick rinse. Get that dirt off. Okay, and we're gonna throw them into the boiling water. Quick rinse. Oh, this one snagging a rock with his claw. There go that rock now. These guys sure like to grasp things. Okay, 2 left. Last one. Ah, this one got me. Leave it to the smallest one to be the most feisty. Okay, there we go. And if you look at them, they're already starting to turn red. Okay, and I'm just gonna leave them there for about 4 to 5 minutes just to make sure that the bacteria is, dying and we're getting all that nasty stuff out. And once they're all about a deep red, then I'm going to go ahead and remove them and let them cool off, and it's chow time. Okay, these guys are boiling, so that's pretty good. I'm gonna just take it out of the fire, and I'm gonna let them cool off because I don't want to get burned. And yeah, so I'm just gonna. They were just cooking for about 5 minutes. They're nice and orange, not too red, but you know, doesn't this look similar to lobster at, you know, when you order at a restaurant? Just miniature lobster. I'm just gonna remove the water, and it's fine if it hits my fire because once we cooked them, it's really hot outside. We don't need a fire, so they're removed from the fire, and we're just gonna let them cool off. I don't know if the camera can pick up the steam, but it's still steaming. And because they have exoskeletons, because they have shells, they don't sweat like we do. So all the heat is still held in by the shell. So if you try to get one and open it, you can burn your fingers. So we're not that in a hurry. We're not starving. So we'll just let them cool off for about 5 minutes, and then we'll start munching out. Okay, so they've cooled off enough. So let's get to eating. Okay, so this is how they're boiled. Okay, well, let's go ahead and try something. I'm gonna try to remove their intestine back here. Oh, I failed at that. That's fine. So just tear away the tail. And this is what we're gonna eat. So, once again, pretty much miniature lobster tails. That out of there. Now, I didn't get a chance to remove their lower intestine, but here it is. You just open up the top, just nick it with your nail, and that's the lower intestine. So you don't want to eat that. Get that out of there. But everything else, it's ready to eat. Once it looks like a little shrimp, you know. There's some species where you can eat the claws. These species you cannot. They don't really have large claws. And I'm mainly eating the tail portion. I'm not gonna eat the guts, but keep in mind that it's a small game, so you can use this as bait for a trap. So you can use the guts as for a trap to try to catch a raccoon, a rodent, or even use it as for a large fish. So small game can lead to bigger game if you use it wisely. Okay, let's see if I can get this one. Oh no, I can't. Okay, so once again, open the tail. Crack it open. And this is just 5 of them. It's not much. But I mean, in Louisiana, you can, they have crawfish boils, and they have them in the hundreds, and it looks like such a good time. You can also, like anything, you can take it home, if you don't want to I'm just showing the basic, bushcraft, the more basic stuff, But I mean, you can take these home, you can season them, you can, add whatever ingredients you want to them, spices. Get creative with your food. Not all wild food has to be, just down and dirty. So. It's good. Now, in all honesty, out of all the things that I eat out here, bushcrafting, I'd have to say it's a cross between, it's a tie between catfish and crawdads, of which one's my favorite food to catch. Really soft. They taste just like shrimp, just like lobster. Last one. Oh, this one's really warm. This was a large one. Guts. Well, friends, that concludes this video. So just keep in mind that crayfish are a very common food source, and they're everywhere where there's water, streams, lakes, ditches, and they're a really good source of food. If you like shrimp, if you like lobster, you're going to like this. It's a staple of Cajun cooking. They put it in gumbo, they boil these guys by the hundred, so it's really good food, and it's a really good source of protein. Now keep in mind that it is a small, it's very low in the food chain, it is a small game, so you can use this as bait to catch something else. I'm really thankful for the likes, the time you give me, the subscriptions. That really means a lot to me. It helps me reach a bigger audience. It helps me get more exposure through YouTube, so I can inspire more people to go outside and hopefully learning something, at least be entertained. Okay guys, so I'll see you next week with another video. Now go out and get your boots dirty.